Okay, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to assemble a little kit. This kit is purchased online, cost me $10.50, postage paid. This is the Pixie board here, and here are a whole bunch of parts. And importantly, here is the paperwork that comes with it. Now, to tell you the truth, if you're going to build a kit like this, what do? You have no idea. First of all, you've got to identify the parts and know where to put them. Here's the schematic, which I'll try to make a copy to go in below the film that you're watching on YouTube. But anyway, here's the parts list, and here's a diagram of this board right here. So you can see they look much alike. So anyway, what we're going to do is identify all the parts first to make sure that what we've got is in the bag, because if we find out anything is missing, we'll need to find or order that part to replace it. So here they all are, and I'm just going to find these and check them off. I think what I'll do is I'll put the list over here. Okay, this thing's pretty obvious. This is a BNC connector. This is going to go to your antenna. Other components. BNC J2. Check. So we can put that up here. And there's another little jack. In fact, there's two of them that look alike here. J3, that J for jack. Okay, so J3 and J4, 3.5 millimeter diameter for your key and your headphones. So we've got those. And then this is the DC input plug here. This is going to be J1 DC. So I've got that. Now here's an integrated socket. I don't see an integrated circuit. Darn their height. Okay, well, let's see. Well, do they have that even listed? PCB times 1. That's this right here. So this is the printed circuit board. And well, that's real cute. Well, they have the socket for the integrated circuit, but they don't have the LM386, which is this. We've got the socket, and they don't have that listed on the parts. So, okay, well, let's go from there. One thing missing. This is a potentiometer, this little guy here, and by turning this it changes. It's called a variable resistor, but by turning it, boy, it says here in fine print. Let me get a little screwdriver. See, I can turn this like this. There's a detent right in the middle. That's interesting, but that's called a variable resistor. Okay. Here we go. Adjustable resistance, W1, 50k ohms. That's this guy right here. Okay, now here's a crystal. This little guy right here. That's our crystal. And that is marked as 7.023. And I see crystal right here, Y1, 7.023. Now, let's see. Oh, these go with these over here, so that's part of that. Those are for screwing those onto a case. Okay, these black things here. We have several of them. These are electrolytic capacitors, and they're polarity sensitive, so you have to be sure you put them in the right way. And so we have one here that is 100 microfarad at 25 volts. So we're looking for capacitance here. So we got 100 microfarad. That's 100 picofarad. Electrolytic capacitor, C1. Oh, up here we go. 100 microfarad, and it says 16 volts, but this one says 25. The thing is, now, sometimes you substitute parts. 25 volts is higher than 16 volts, so it will work just fine in the circuit, and there's less chance of it breaking down. So, and then there's CP2, CP3, and CP4, which are 10 microfarad at 16 volts. And that's probably these guys here. 10 microfarad, 25 volts. 10 microfarad, 25 volts. And I know you can't read that. I can barely read it. But here we go. 10 microfarad at 25 volts. So that's all three of those. Now, it says a couple diodes. There's a diode here. And this is a diode. Is that all the diodes? I need to get on my strong glasses so that I can see. These things here, my old eyesight. Okay. Now, this, if I look at it around here, which is 1N4001. Okay, that was hard to read, but I've got those two, and this is a 1N4148. That's a signal switching diode. You can see it's just a little tiny thing, and you can see this black ring on this end. That indicates that the arrow, if you look on a schematic, it will look like this. And that black ring stands for this. And on these, since the thing is black, they have a silver mark on the end, and that's this side here. So when you look at your schematic, when we look at our schematic, there's a diode, and there's a diode. And you can see this cross member here. That's indicated by either the black ring or by the silver ring that goes all the way around. So you can see how to put it in. Now, coming back to our list, Q1 and Q2, those are transistors. Ah, I can't read Chinese. I think what that's saying is active devices. So here's a transistor, and this is a 9018. That's this guy right here. And this is a, looks like 8050. Yeah, 8050. So that's those two transistors. Now we have some resistors here. I'm going to separate these out. Resistor, these are capacitors. This is a resistor. Looks a little bit different, but that's a resistor, and there's one. Now I'm going to go grab a color code device. It'll tell you what the color codes are for the resistors. Now I get this device from MPJA, and I'm going to zoom in closer so that you can see this, and so that you can see the resistors. Now you got a good look at my bald head. Okay, here's a resistor that has brown, black, brown. So, since there's only 3 bands on here, it'd be first, second, and the multiplier. So, brown is 1, black is 0, and brown again. So that would be 1, 0, with a 1 extra 0 after that. So that would be 100 ohms. And it looks like there's only one 100 ohm resistor. Uh-oh. I don't see 100 ohms in here. Maybe I'm looking at that wrong. Well, I might not be reading that, but it looks like brown, black, brown to me. Well, there's always one way to know. I have a voltmeter that I have set on resistance. And it's setting right there, and I'm going to measure its resistance. It says 1.6 ohms. You know something? That's not a resistor. That is an inductor. Ha ha! Now I know. Fixed inductance. 1 microhenry. 100 microhenry. So that one, which brown, black, brown, which is 100, see how easy it is to make a mistake? That's L3. And this one is, let me get this out of here. I'll put this back here. This one is brown black followed by gold. So the multiplier, if it is gold, is 0.1. So that would be 1 microhenry. So we'll put that there, and that's this one here. This one is 10K. 0.9K. So that's actually 1K. Now resistors can be in a range of value. Used to be most of your resistors were 10%. Now they're like 5%, and you can get 1%. So if it's close, that's good. This is 10 ohms. Is 32 or 33K. 33K, there it is 46K, which would be the 47K. Remember, plus or minus a little bit is okay. And you can actually figure it out. This one is 0.4K, 0.459. That's okay. That's the 470 ohms. Remember, a K is 1,000, so it's point. Remember, it's point. What was it? 0.469. 0.4. Excuse me. 0.459, which is 0.46, and 470 ohms would be 0.470. So you can see this is within the range. And then we have one left, which it says it should be 100K. So it's 99.3K, so that's real close to 100K. So that one's there. All right, now we got a bunch of capacitances. Now, notice on our sheet here, it says, I'm going to make sure this is in here, it says 0.1 microfarad, and it's got 104. So it might have marked on it 0.1, or it might have 104. Now, with these little tiny things, I think we'll be lucky if we can find a 103 on it, or a 104, or whatever it is. So with this is a 103. So we've got, in fact, I'm just going to set that there. We've got 4 of those. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll check C2. Oh, 471. Ah! 101. C3. This one's probably the 0.1. 104. See, it's a little bigger. All right. Well, it looks to me like I've got some extra capacitors here. Yeah, they gave me some extra parts, probably just to make up for 103. Well, I've got all the capacitors I need plus some, but I do not have the LM386. So this little device here helps you to read color codes, and MPJA, Marlin P. Jones and Associates. It's a place that I buy a lot of parts from. Every time I buy something, they throw one of these in, and I've got several of these cards. So if you need one, let me know and I'll give it to you. So, son of a gun. I'm missing that one thing. Alright, I'm going to put these tip covers back on. These are very sharp, but they break off easy. So here's our kit, and what we can do now. This thing, here's the board, and let me see if I can zoom in on this for you. Alright, here's the board. If you look at the board, you can see all kinds of stuff. I've got it upside down for you. Okay, here, we'll turn it right side up. Here's U1.